Yeah, but so I mean that's going over to the negative side. We might as well because I'm about done with the positive side.
All right,
That's
man,
really
go
all I
for
can
it.
think of right now.
Go for it,
All
man.
right,
Lay it all
so
in line.
and that's one of the things too. So let's since you mentioned, let's start with that. So as far as them trying to pull off and try to make me really believe that this man is a complete nerd. You know, a nerd being a nerd, it comes with a whole lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? A lifestyle
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense. And his drip, it does not make sense of what we used to wear back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Or just I'm pretty sure that kids wear now. That's into video games. That's into comics, science, and stuff like that. Like it does not fit the role. So it's like they're blending in with like the geeks is blending in with the other people that's like the popular kids. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see the dude. I mean, Virgil, he has more drip than the dude that's apparently the quarterback. He's the
Yeah, the
popular.
basketball
Yeah,
player. Yep.
yeah. I'm about to say like, yo, you need to take some tips from Virgil. Like real talk. Like, all right, but so as far as like how the pacing is, like they're rushing. Of course, they're rushing because what they only getting like 6 issues right now. That's promised to see how it goes,
Yeah, I
and they're
believe
and they're
so.
rushing. Um, like you have these certain fights and stuff like that that's going on right now. I'm not feeling for not one single character except for maybe his sister. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
even though she wants to be that big head, she's the older sister, so she want to have that authority. At the same
Right.
time, you can honestly see that she cares about Virgil. So I mean, other than her, for real, I don't really care about any of these characters, especially the main character. Like,
Mhm.
yes, you're supposed to be in here asking questions and stuff like that, but it's just I'm not connecting with this character, not especially not how I did with the previous one, where it's like, we kind of see the transition between right now we're being told everything. It's not it's no um let me look
Origin, so
back
to
one page.
speak.
Yeah, it's no build up to it. Right now, everything is there. This man is like using his powers. I like how they was trying to say like, hey, he got this tingling feeling and stuff like that. But man, this man is clearly using his powers like it should. You know what I'm saying? He's clearly using his powers like it ain't nothing.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know. And of course, it goes from 0 to 100, where this dude just knocking on his door. Like, I don't see how the world changed as soon as everybody started getting powers, other than what they're saying on the news. But nothing is actually being done. Everything is being said throughout the whole comic book. And as a writer, one of the rules are if you want to make the audience feel something, you got to show it. You got to, walk the reader through what you want them to feel, and not just tell it to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, show don't
So
tell. Yep.
exactly. So going through this comic, man, it was just like a whole lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Not transition. Just oh man, I can't think of the word. I'm gonna just
Like
I'm
like
gonna
a
keep
like
focusing.
fast pacing, like a almost like it was like fast forward. Like
Yeah, so
yeah.
I mean, how they going through? Like, I understand exactly what's going on. They definitely let me know, like, okay, you got the Big Bang, you got people that's got powers and stuff like that. But I don't see like, okay, if the Black Lives Matter protest was getting like shut down by the police and stuff like that, and now these kids that didn't have weapons at first, now they basically got superpowers. If you did it, if you basically came at them when they didn't have powers and they didn't have guns and stuff like that, and now they got superpowers. Why are you not locking down on them now? And Virgil clearly his identity is out there. So, and it's a week that's been by, and you still letting this man, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right, right,
it
right.
just
They should be the government should be like on them, like arresting them or detaining them and testing them for science and shit like that, right?
exactly to make sure it's not the next coronavirus. God dang it, you know what I'm saying? Like anything. So right now I'm not believing a lot of the stuff that's going on right now. And
Okay.
again, a week has gone by, and I mean maybe they'll explain it to us later or something like that. So let's just go ahead and jump forward to all the way to the end. Let's just jump forward.
All
So
right.
this man comes out of nowhere, right? I like how it started off with Virgil saying like, "Yo, I gotta get him away." You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta lead this dude away. Next thing you know, he gets socked in the face. But then
Mm-hmm.
after that, it was just like, okay, it don't matter no more. This man is going full blaze. Of course, he knows karate somehow. Even though that really wasn't like that to begin with. But I mean, he knows karate. Even though it was mentioned or whatever. Again, they did the whole. I'm gonna just tell you that he's been taking classes, and then I'm gonna just show him doing karate and stuff like that.
Right,
But
which was
anyways,
done the same thing as Zero. Oh, we're gonna start training you, son. But you never really saw him training. It was just said by his father, and then this is what happened. Yeah.
yeah. So right now, again, I don't feel anything for the characters. So they putting art, fight, everything over the actual story that's trying to be told. So you
Mm-hmm.
know how with every single story, no matter how small or big or whatever, typically there's some type of message in the story. Do you see any message going on in here?
No, I don't see a message yet. All I see is, a young teenager who had survived the traumatic experience of having
Hmm.
poisonous gas thrown at him at a protest. And there is no mention really, like lives were lost during that Black Lives Matter protest in the Big Bang. Lives were lost during the Big Bang, and you kind of have to think about, oh, well, he might have survivor's guilt or survivor's remorse about making it through it, but it's not really properly explained. You have to kind of read between the lines to kind of get that. So there is no real message yet. We kind of have like a teenager and angst and is trying to figure out what exactly is going on. And he's kind of a bit of a cool kid type. It's almost like you remember the Amazing Spider-Man series with Andrew Garfield?
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like that. Kind of like how you have the cool guy who's supposed to be a nerd, but honestly he's the cool guy. Gets his powers and he's immediately kind of up to snuff on it. There's not much of a learning curve and he's already trying to use kind of like is like a faster pace superhero kind of storytelling.
Yeah, I mean, for real, this guy. All right, I'm gonna say this and then I'll explain it. This dude
Yeah,
is
go ahead,
basically like
man.
Superman. He's like Superman.
Hmm.
It's really hard to write Superman because this man, he's perfect in every single way.
Right.
And I'm seeing a lot of that in Virgil. This man knows karate. This man got friends like crazy. What I'm saying? He's talking to girls very well.
Yeah, he is.
And
He
of course,
is.
he's a nerd, super smart. Dude got drip. Like, and he has amazing powers where everybody else is getting like I've seen the dude look like a whole devil. Like, they're looking
Right.
ugly every time they get. So it's like, and of course he has all his parents, and it's like I don't see no flaws on this dude. He's like depressed for nothing. Probably the happiest kid ever. Like, I'm not seeing anything wrong right now. So it's like there's no message. I'm not seeing any type of struggle other than this man just being depressed for, of course, I'm guessing just what happened with everything, which what kid wouldn't be. But what struggles what did he have before? Like where does he have to grow? Other than getting over, which always comes with time. Like what
Oh,
you see what I'm trying to get
yeah.
at?
All he had was being supposedly bullied by Francis, who bullied him because he wasn't quote unquote black enough for him. Direct
Okay.
quote from the first book, the one that you shouldn't read. That's it.
Okay. So that's what they. Okay.
That's the only thing he has. Was he was being bullied by that Francis hot streak, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the only real struggle that you've seen him
That's
have. Like he said,
that's
he
all you
talks to
got.
Frida. That's all he got. He talks to Frida. He talks to girls pretty well. He doesn't seem socially awkward. He doesn't seem socially inept. He's got the drip. He's got the friends. He's got the family. He's got the powers. He's still kept his looks. Not like his face is mauled or anything like that. Well, the original series Static, he seemed kind of more of a humble kid with more humble beginnings. Well, he wasn't the
Exactly.
coolest guy in the school. He had trouble talking to girls. You know what I'm saying? He had problems with bullies. So he wasn't just outright beating people up when he got his powers. He was still struggling to get those W's. It wasn't like he was just okay, powers on and I'm catching W's, right? There was some growth for him
Yeah.
to actually defeat some opponents and defeat some villains.
And this dude got science down pat, man. Like, and again, this art looks amazing, man. But it's just the story is just not there. They're skipping past every single bit of storytelling that makes stories like good. You know what I'm saying? That makes stories interesting. They're skipping right past all of that, and it's like, dude, like I would think that I'm thinking they about to go with the whole, which I'm not sure. You know, of course, it ended on a cliffhanger of this man's house being burnt down and stuff like that. And maybe there, there lies the struggle. But I'm thinking that maybe how his mom in the show died in the fire, right?
Right, right.
Yeah. Um so I'm thinking that the mom is in there or whatever. Like, it would have been pretty dope if he told his parents and them to, get inside, so let me protect y'all and stuff like that. And then it's like, he asked his father, like, yo, just believe in me and stuff like that. And they went inside, and the next thing you know, he torched the whole place. That would be something crazy. I'll be hooked and couldn't wait, what I'm saying, for the next, that would be crazy.
Damn,
But they
yeah.
didn't do that. It's like they keeping everything safe right now, man. They giving this kid everything, Yeah, he
Hmm.
lost his home, but I mean, I'm not sure, man. I'm not seeing any type of as a writer, man. I'm looking at this from a different perspective, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people enjoy this comic book, and I'm not knocking them for that. But as
Yeah.
of right now, it's kind of just an average book for real. It's just really just an average book. Like if I had nothing else to do, I'll pick
Hmm.
this up.
Right,
And
right. I
I
see
mean,
definitely what you're
anybody,
saying.
yeah, I mean, it's nothing really like. Can you even see where the story is going?
I
Like,
personally, I think this is just going for like more of a personal struggle. I don't even see him as a hero. I don't even know the transition for this version of Virgil to be a superhero yet. Because
yeah,
as it stands right now, I don't see the motivation to become one. Or he hasn't quite yet displayed the heroic value that he did in his origin because in the original version of him, 90 Static, didn't he had an opportunity to take out his bully in the middle of the night at the
yep,
gang meetup, and
yeah.
he
He
could have
and he
he could have
chose didn't.
snuffed him.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he
and
he
it
chose he didn't, and then they gassed him.
right, right. He had a chance to take out a bully who was, but he had that restraint and he had good intentions. His goodness came out of him to be like, no, I'm not going to do this. I could get away with it, but that's not in me to do this. And this version they try to replicate that in issue 0 because he
Yeah,
first comes back to school with his powers and he shocks Hot Streak and they're like, oh, you're killing him, and they say, oh, he deserves it, keep shocking him. But of course you're in school and you're electrocuting someone to death. Of course you wouldn't want to just electrocute someone to death and the police are there. You know what I'm saying? You're you're done. You're set for jail. You know what I'm saying? You're going to cell block D. Or Akon getting locked up.
good talk.
So he stopped shocking him. And then the police officer came and said, there's any problems? No one snitched on him. He said, see, officer, there's no problem here. That
Wow.
doesn't hold the same gravitas as the original version of the Big Bang in the middle of the night at a gang meetup slash gang fight. So this Virgil, I'm curious. I'm honestly don't think he'll even suit up till issue 3 or 4, to be honest with you. Because this seems like it's a little bit more of a personal, kind of a typical teenage story. And I mean, we'll see where it goes for issue number 2, but you definitely got
Yeah,
some points here. There's definitely not a message yet. and it's not really a lot of development so far with the characters. They are kind of because they got 6 issues to work with here, so they are just trying to get through to the end, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah, man. This is a very like I want to like it so bad, yo. I really want to like it because I love again the artist, man. He put
Yeah,
his heart and soul into this joint, man,
I was seeing
and
his
to not
post,
have that
Nicholas Drape
backup,
Ivory.
yeah, like of course I went on his Instagram and stuff like that, man. He has dope art, man. He's putting in work, but to not have a match with your art, you know what I'm saying, with that passion of art is just I'm not seeing the passion into the storytelling. And again, like they went straight to fighting. Like the fight between the bully and Virgil, like be real. Did you really feel any of that? You know what I'm saying? Like yes, it looked cool. What was going on?
Nah, really, I was surprised near the end with me off guard, and it was like, whoa, they're trying to dial it up to. Or the whole case of him not being, and this isn't mentioned number one, so I'm not sure if this is going to be retcon or not. I'm not black enough, so I bully you.
Stupid.
I didn't ask him to be a
Setting them
bully.
up for
I
failure.
have, I have
Don't
never.
say
To
it.
be
Don't
real,
say
if Francis like that, then you know then that's not the proper alt.
it.
Not. I think that was that. This whole rivalry thing, like we only know because we watched Shock as a kid, or you read Static, as a young adult or as a kid with the Milestone comics in the '90s. So there's
Yeah,
already that preconceived notion that okay, we know they're kind of past history, so it's almost like it's already embedded in our head why they would go against each other. But you're like you said, for the new reader,
it's
you
number
know,
one.
they're kind of left a little bit guessing here.
Yeah, this is what he's journey of him going towards the going to the Black Lives Matter, and when they get gas and stuff like that, it's like, yo, it knocks it up a notch, right? And then after that, then it's like, okay, now the stakes is really there. So it's like not only can Francis take out Virgil, but he can also take out his whole family like he did right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's like, yo, like I would love to see that, but they skip right over that. Like that's gone now. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to see I wanted to feel like how, all right, why did you mention Black Lives Matter? You know what I'm saying? Like not, to an average reader, um, they're not gonna really feel Black Lives Matter like that. You know what I'm saying? Like let me see, what's a good example? I want to do an example for my comic book. Not everybody read my comic book. So let me see here. So say we see why Black Lives Matter is there. Like we see the police brutality and we
okay.
see the justice just not being served when it comes to black individuals. If we start seeing that, then we start to see like, okay, man, we see why they out there. So we feel
Right.
that. So then when
Mm-hmm.
they get out there, things go on and they get gas and stuff like that. It's like another gut punch to the person that's already at a disadvantage because they have to fight for their rights to begin with to be out there during Black Lives Matter, right? So then when
Right.
we see that, we can actually feel them, and when we finally get to these fights and stuff like that, then and also since we see that Virgil represents that stand on Black Lives Matter, then of course the antagonist being Francis, he can be going against that. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole, oh my goodness, black enough mess. Like they need to toss that out. Retcon real quick. You know what I'm saying? A
Yeah,
negative zero. I don't know what they need to do, but retcon that and actually go with something that it actually makes sense for him to, and we can see it maybe somewhere on his side or something where Francis is going against that for whatever reason. So then we can start thinking on the philosophical level of exactly this fight has value to it. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So it's
Like.
like,
Oh, go ahead.
oh, I mean, go ahead. I'm pretty sure you got some heat. Go
Oh, I was just
ahead.
saying for a quick, like, what you're trying to say is what if Francis's dad was like a cop, right? And maybe
Yeah,
what he was like Blue Lives Matter. He went there to counter protest the protest, and amongst the whole thing, it wasn't just three white kids jumping Virgil started a riot. It was counter protesters going against protesters with a mix of people who weren't there to exactly protest. The gas gets thrown, Big Bang happens. Now you have a mixture of everyone that got gassed up with different motives and different incentives.
exactly. All right. You can even have the argument of Francis being bad influenced by his dad. You know what I mean? He's badly influenced
Mm.
by that. And we can actually walk with him through his
Hmm.
household and see how he's badly influenced, even though he might even be a good guy. But from his
Right.
point of view, but his dad being a police officer, he sees it from the Blue Lives Matter. So he'll go up
Hmm.
there and, they peacefully protesting. And the next thing you know, he's the one who starts the riot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then they start to riot and gives his dad and stuff like, and those other people a reason to start gassing them. So it's like he'll have that stake inside that whole philosophical level and also on the physical level of them. He's being one of the core reasons why they got gas in the first place. So then when he comes back to this actual fight, the fight will actually have meaning to it. You know what I mean? But as far as him showing up on his house, that still don't really make sense. Like, bro, you got superpowers, go rob a bank, something. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to be bad, dog, like that dude should be beneath you or something. I mean, I know he had a whole school fight and stuff like that, but I don't know. Like even when it comes to going after protesters, like maybe he even had a history of like before he even got to Virgil. He took out a couple of the people that was there that was protesting and stuff like that. Like he's doing something right
Mm.
for, you know what I'm saying? Like it can have that up there, and it's not like the stuff isn't true. Like a lot of people that went to the Black Lives Matter was really peaceful, but then some people went in there to start rioting, and they was
Right.
a lot of those people was Caucasian and stuff like that, and they got them on camera. So
Hmm.
it's like it kind of like relates back to reality, and it'd be like a nice little touch when it comes to
Right.
that. So,
Right.
but again, you don't see none of that in here. You just get some evil dude saying like, "Yo, the reason I'm chasing you down and my whole motivation of life is because you're not black enough." Like, I'm just not. I'm not feeling that, dog.
No, I'm not either. And like this whole episode could be titled as "How Static Shocks." The How Static Season One, Issue One could it be rewritten because I mean you're right, man. And if you're gonna do the Black Lives Matter thing, let's be real. There is no safe way to approach this new retcon of the origin. You're gonna piss off the original fans, and you're gonna piss off the fanboys. I'll call the quote unquote the marksmen, who are
Yeah,
out there who are like, I'm totally disinterested in this book because of his origin, Black Lives Matter, and I'm not gonna read it. So if you knew that this BLM was going to piss off a readership that is no longer going to look at the book, you might as well just do it to the extent that we just kind of discussed it and go into further depth about it because there is no safe way to do Black Lives Matter as an origin and keep everyone happy. Like, oh, we're safely doing Black Lives Matter, so not to offend those who wouldn't want to look at it. Like, no, if you're gonna go in, you go all the way in on it and not half bake it up to make it seem safe enough for anyone to read. Um,
exactly. Trying to impress everybody, you won't impress anybody.
Exactly, exactly. And I get the or change origin to modernize it in the year 2020 and 2021, you got a 13 or below reader, 9-year old, 10-year old, 13-year old, or 14-year old to read this book. Yes, that's probably more of a your best case scenario to kind of modernize the origin a bit. But to kind of leave it in the state that it was almost like a first draft version of it. It wasn't almost like they could have actually took a couple steps like we discussed and try to expand upon it. And honestly, with the issue 0, they could have took out some other stories. They could have took out some pages away from Icon and Rocket. I'm sorry to say. They could have just,
Yeah.
instead of trying to do like 4 or 5 heroes, cut out 2 of them, focus on 3, and you can develop a little bit more into it rather than try to, I don't know, preview 2 or 3 books that not even gonna come out. They don't even have solo. 3 of the heroes that they highlighted were like not even coming out with the solo series. So
Or cut out some of this this advertisement in the first
what?
issue. Good Lord, man. Like half of the book is advertisement.
Yeah,
But I
man,
mean,
that's modern comics in general, mainstream.
yeah. I know.
For real.
I'm always gonna throw that in there though. But so yeah, man. This one right here though, the issue 1 is decent. Is does it meet the standards of what I'm used to from Marvel and DC from back when I used to actually pick them up? No, it doesn't meet that. Um, does it even meet anywhere near manga or just they're like volume ones or whatever or issue. I ain't gonna say issue 1, chapter ones.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't meet them at all. Like
Hmm.
I'm just not feeling nothing for none of these characters. If anything, Sherry, she should have been the main character.
Oh, say again. Who should have been the main
um,
character?
his sister, she should have been the main character because that's the only person I'm feeling for right now. But that's
uh,
neither here or there. So yeah, I mean, right now I'm not really liking the book. For all the indie people out there, you safe. It's not gonna kill the black indie comics anytime soon.
mm.
As far as story wise, so I'm pretty sure the antagonist will probably blow this out the water.
Oh
It's
yeah, coming out in August. Yep.
yeah, it's gonna blow them out the water. So yeah, I know a few. I know a few issue ones of the indie comics that does so much more than whatever we got here. And again, I'm not trying to talk smack like that. It's no bad intentions behind it. And trust me, I really want to like this comic, man. But at the same time, it's just like they have the resources, the experience, and everything
Yeah.
to bump this up. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this is their full potential. Like seriously, this is probably like their full potential of how they tell stories and stuff like that. And it's like, bruh, it's not here. But well, of course, when it comes to indie comics, they're just practicing. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to figure out what works and stuff
Right.
like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're gonna grow. This right here, this is their full potential, man. This is what they got. You know what I'm saying? Like again, without the art, just imagine the dude who no, I ain't gonna keep bringing manga because bringing manga in here is just not fair. It's not even fair, man.
Nah, well, you could tell that that's what they want. That's why the art style was chosen. They obviously DC kind of has the foresight or the acknowledge that hey, manga's pretty hot right now, anime's pretty
Yeah,
popular right now. The younger crowds are flocking to it. There's more younger people going to the anime conventions than the comic conventions. Hey, we want to purposely want this marketed towards the youth, so we need to definitely kind of get that style in the book. The thing is, with anime and manga, is people love and care for the characters and the stories, and sometimes that takes time to develop. But when that machine is running
yeah,
nicely, you get caught up in everything that that series is doing. And this 6 issues is not long enough to gather that. You know what I'm saying? It's just not enough time to have it stretch and breathe. And I
yeah.
understand it's a business. I understand they're only doing about 4 titles, and whatever sells the best, they'll probably try to continue afterwards. Probably going to be static. Let's just be honest. Probably hardware and Icon and Rocket will probably not get the proper sales to get going for it. It's probably going to be static. But if you want to capture that audience, you got to at least know why they're so attached to it. Besides just a visual style, you know what I'm saying? It's not just a
Yeah.
visual style. You feel for Luffy, you feel for Naruto, you feel for Goku, you feel for Eren and all these other characters that are, capturing the youth's attention because they have good stories, they have good backstories, they have good origins, and they got volumes, not issues. They have like volumes and chapters and pages, thousands and hundreds of pages to develop into that. 6 issues is not enough to capture that. And if they were serious about it, they would do it more of a manga or value or manga chapter. They would definitely say, "Hey, we're gonna give this 25 issues or 20 issues," at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, I feel like they got the power and the experience to get everybody going on the first issue. I mean, it's static. Come on. They really don't even need to do that. It's static.
Yeah,
So people are gonna wait as long as the story is building up, like people will wait for that. You know what I'm saying? It's not
right.
like they don't see any action on the first issue. It's like, man, I got trash this book. There's no action. Like, no, people don't. Who does that? Who does that? Like the majority does it. So as far as they honestly just need 3 issues, if that, like, or maybe even 2 issues, just to get a good footing to show, like, yo, this is a story to be paying attention to. Right now, I got to the end of this book, and I just was not hooked, man. Like, I'm the
Hmm.
type of person that I take away the art, I take away the name brand, and right now it's nothing. Right now, it's nothing because um, and I would love some other people's opinions and stuff like that as far as this go. Maybe I missed something. I'll even read it, 1 or 2 more times to try to
Yeah.
see what they were trying to go for. Because if I was an idiot on this, then hey, it is what it is. And if I miss something, I'll admit it. But right now, I'm not seeing like yo, I'm about to be a king of the pirates. So hey, I'm about to do what with great power comes great responsibility. I'm not seeing none of that stuff right now. Right now, it's
Yeah.
just a character that came in here that's depressed, and right now he got into a fight with a dude that basically just say he's not black enough. And it's like, man, after Francis, like, say Francis killed Virgil, right? Like, what
Hmm.
is this man about to go do next? Like, what's next for this man? Like,
Kill the next
what in the
teenager in
world?
his class that doesn't use the N
Yeah,
word. I don't know.
like I'm going for the next, like, I'm going for a light skinned dude this time. Like, like, come on, bro. If you don't go somewhere, like,
Oh
seriously,
my
what's
gosh,
next?
dude. Oh, you don't listen to Lil Wayne? Okay, I got you. You know? Oh, you don't like
No
rap
bubble
music?
wrap.
What? No mumble
Man,
rap? Oh, you like rock and roll? You like heavy metal?
I should have got you first. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
right now,
Let, let,
bro,
let,
like,
oh, one more thing. Let's be real. Most kids, most black kids in high school were wearing anime shirts, so there goes your whole school right there. You're
yo,
not black enough.
like,
You're not black enough, like the Oprah meme. You're not black enough.
go ahead, man. Bringing in the
God, I hope they
culture.
retcon. I hope they retcon that shit. Or it's
I
too
like.
late now.
I understand exactly why they put all this advertisement in here. Since they saying, like, yo, since this book is not gonna work,
Hmm.
go to this book. Go to this book. How about some more advertisement? Go to this book. Here's Rick and Morty. Like, I see
Well,
why they put advertisement in here, man.
well, here's the thing. They don't even advertise any other book. I see. They advertise Icon and Rocket hardware.
Yeah,
Some CW show. Okay, they
yeah.
Superman, Son of Kal El. All right, they got a few other books in there, but yeah, damn, it really is like back to back to back, like six
Bruh.
pages straight. Like, damn, I didn't even really notice that shit. So yeah, I mean, they advertising a lot of different books in here. Um, yeah, I do it in the Rick and Morty in the back. I get the sense that they had to put the Rick and Morty in there. I just get the sense that they're trying to play. This is fairly safe. It's a fairly safe move. They want to make Virgil cool. They want to make him have that cool factor. They kind of want to make him. I want to say they feel like the visual. I feel like they feel like the visualization and him just kind of kicking ass and being sort of angry and stoic. It's almost like that like a default how we make a character cool. Well, let's not make him nerdy, but he is nerdy, but he's a cool nerdy guy, and let's make him kick ass, and let's make him stoic and have angst. And it's like it's almost like a default template of how to make a young character cool, quote unquote. And it's a pretty safe move. I think it's almost like a reach. They're trying to force coolness on the younger readers to capture
Yeah,
them. And who knows? Maybe it works. I kind of hope that if it does work, this could be a portal for them to delve into other comics. Maybe the original Milestone, maybe some indies if word comes to them about some other titles that are coming out. Because we know that the youth is heading towards manga and anime, and for a good reason because it's just they have different storytelling. It's more appealing to them. And if this can get more of a generation more on the comic book side and to try to, be a little bit more traditional with the American side comics, cool. But ultimately, I think they played it pretty safe. It's a safe book. It's a 7. It's a 7 out of 10 for me. Not the worst, not the best. And maybe my review is skewed because I read Milestone Returns.
yeah,
this shit, this shit was miles to me ahead of that book and the way everything was written in that shit. So maybe that's why I'm not so, I guess, down on this one. But if this is the way you feel about Static One, I'm scared to know what you'll feel about Milestone Returns issue 0.
yeah. I don't think I'm gonna try my luck, but as far as me being nice, it'll be a 5 out of 10 for me. But I mean, that's because like I don't really
Mm-hmm.
rate books with ease like that. For real, it could be a lot lower. But me being nice because I
Yeah,
see the art has a lot of heart into it, and it's doing most of the storytelling right now. So I'll give it a 5 out of 10. But me being completely honest, it'll be more of a it'll probably be more of like a 4 out of 10 or a 3.5. But
right, right.
like all right, I'm gonna do this real quick. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, and you don't have to answer these questions. We can
Go
even
ahead,
stop
man.
at the first question.
Go ahead,
But
man. Go
tell me
ahead.
this. Let's talk about the side characters, okay?
All
Let's
right.
talk about the side characters. All right. So tell me this. And you can go back and do your research. I know you got the book right in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me exactly what what the dad did to spruce it up the story. Tell me that. What did the dad exactly do to spruce up the story? Because again, with every single side character, you gotta have some type of weight to kind of like boost up the story. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you got Sasuke and Naruto, or whatever. Sasuke is the dude that he's basically the genius and stuff like that, and he's born with talent. And Naruto, he doesn't have any talent, at the beginning of the story, and he
Right.
basically has to like catch up to the dude who like this is where he started at. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
you got, and then of course you got Kakashi. He's a genius, he's a copy ninja. He's well known and stuff like that. And then Naruto just got to sit back and like figure out how to where he's going to catch up. You know what I'm saying? So you got
Right.
characters in there that has the side characters that brings weight to the story. Tell me, what did his dad do to bring weight to the story?
Well, let's see here. The first appearance of his dad in this book is of him cooking breakfast, I believe. It's him cooking breakfast in the flashback sequence, kissing his mom and kind of getting on Virgil's tail for I guess training and getting on his sister, and he puts his son in a little bit of a gives him kind of a nuggie and kind of squeezes him in the head, a little play fight. My thing is, I think the dad and for the most part, the rest of the family is just to establish that he has sort of a family. He has sort of a home life to go back to home to after going to school. And it's supposed to give him, I think the family is supposed to give him structure in a way that the others who are affected by the Big Bang don't have. Um, there's the one with the devil horns that you see in the previous pages. In
Yeah.
Milestone Zero, it's established that his mom, tried to get exercise the try to spiritually get rid of the demon out of him, and it wouldn't work. So they kind of just abandoned him, so to speak. So now he's kind of homeless in the streets with this other guy who throws up acid, and he kept throwing up acid in the house, and he became too dangerous to be around his family or whatever. I think the family dynamic is supposed to be his moral compass to try to hold Virgil from not going down some of these other paths that these other kids are affected by the Big Bang. That would be my only other, I guess, analysis of them. Because I would have to say, Miles Morales, the relationship with his father is definitely a little bit more stronger than what's currently shown here. I know it's only one issue, but
Yeah.
even in the Static Shock cartoon, his the development with his father was a little bit stronger so far. So
And
the
just in the
family,
first episode too, by the way.
yeah, just in the first episode as well. So I think, like everything else, like you said, they are kind of playing. They play a role, but it's not really expanded upon. They're kind of the backdrop to the art style and the fight scenes and some of the more dramatic parts of the story. So it's definitely not. It's definitely kind of weak in their efficiency, but they are still kind of there to try to prevent him from going down darker paths later on. Because I don't you get kind of like an Anakin Skywalker feeling with him? You know what I'm saying? Like he might be
Yeah.
one or two insults away from shocking someone to death or doing something that might be wrong or his anger or whatever. So I think that they're that moral compass for him to try to stay on the right path. At least that's what I got
Yeah.
from it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, man, it's kind of like the Superman right now. Of course, you see the before the Big Bang where they're laughing and joking and stuff like that, and
hmm
it's like really Virgil, he really has it all, man. Seriously, he has it all. From my perspective, going from the first issue, and then of course now the present time, it's all darkness and stuff like that, which it has every right to be.
hmm
Um, and the thing is, that would have stuck with me until they start getting into a fight and stuff like that, where basically um I wanted to see that maybe his opinion on like right now it's like his dad is okay with everything, what I mean, which is fine. But again, I'm just trying to figure out exactly where this story is trying to go, and I'm just not seeing it. You know what I'm saying? The side characters is supposed to kind of flesh that out,
Right.
and like right now, all I'm seeing is like the home burns down, right? So it's kind of like a ripple in the water right now. And the perfect water is like a ripple in there. So I'm trying to figure out maybe that's going to affect the family in some type of way, even though we didn't establish that that house meant anything to him like that. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe like, yo, this house was passed down to us from our grandma or something like that. And you got to be more grateful, Virgil, like, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or to kind of tell them like, look, it's not that bad and stuff like that. And then the house burns down, and then like maybe that has some type of value. But right now, it's like none of these characters, they're just there right now.
Right. Right.
Even when it comes to even Richie, like he's just there.
Yeah, and
Like
he's
we
swagged
know
out
his
too.
background. Yeah, he definitely swagged out, man. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like, again, if he's not, so maybe all this stuff, maybe he'll lose his family. Maybe that's the only thing I can think of. Like right now, he has the perfect life. He loses his family, and then we can go somewhere from that. You know what I'm saying? But right now,
Right.
he's the Superman, and
hmm
his life is perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like other than this dude that really doesn't have a reason for picking on him.
hmm
He's going out. I would never walk to nobody else's house, man. You know, just a, what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. I'm, I'm not walking all the way to somebody else's house just to get at them because they think they're not black enough. Like, nah, bro. I'm not about to. I just don't see it. But
Yeah. 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 And that's a good point you bring up too. if he has everything now and he's angsty and he loses something later on and then he reflects like, wow, I had no reason to feel, not no reason, but I should have been more appreciative back then, or I shouldn't have acted that way. Like, what if something happens to his sister and remember in this issue he's like, yo, get off me or something like that. You know, what if he, there could be some kind of regret of the way he treated his family during his time of his depression. That could lead to something, but as it currently stands, you know, it's kind of iffy. It could go either way. Probably not, but
Yeah,
probably not.
right now, yeah, they don't have me hooked unless I guess they listen to this video and they grab some ideas. They like, hey, scratch everything, go back in there, redraw that, kill her off. Like, but
For
right now
real.
I don't see, I don't see none of that stuff going on, and for that reason, again, it's not getting the hook for me right now.
Mm,
Okay. And that's why it's like a 5 out of 10 being nice, and a 4 out of 10 or a 3.5 out of 10 being completely honest. But hopefully they would, if they do that next issue, I'll take back everything I said. Like if they do that next issue, and that's where they was going, where again they take away everything from this man. So of course, the cartoon show, he only lost his mom and stuff like that. They kind of gave the whole like everybody else, death, like especially his father.
right.
But right now, shoot, right now I'm just not seeing it. But again, if they do that next issue, bro, like I'll come back up here and I'll apologize. Like real talk. That's bold. That twists up everything.
Yeah.
Even though maybe they should have did it. I don't know. I don't know. I can't call it, but we'll see. So I won't. So I'll have something to apologize for. I'm gonna pick up issue 2 just to see what's up. And if it doesn't look good, man, I'm probably gonna have to drop the series and just keep focusing on the indie comics that actually got passion into storytelling.
Yeah, man. I completely agree with you. I'm gonna continue issue 2. I'm gonna pick up Icon and Rocket. I'm gonna torture myself with that book because
You already
I
told me
don't know,
about that.
man. Yeah, yeah.
I
I'm
don't know, bro.
I might, and I want to see if Dr. Umar Johnson's going to reprise his role in that book, man. It might be worth the
Yeah,
price of admission if he comes. If they have this
exactly.
racist Batman show up again in the book, that
I
might be
know.
worth stalking interracial couples a night. That might be the price of admission right there, dude.
Yeah,
If they
I
do
mean, I
that,
got a
Joey.
strong belief. I got a strong belief, man, that and we could talk about this on another one, but the whole topic is business ruining comics. That's
Hmm.
basically yeah, it's business ruining comics. Because right now they cater to business more than they cater to what makes a comic book actually good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. By how many
So
variants are out there? 10 for, was it 5 for this one? The static?
yeah, I mean, it even
Like,
goes deeper than that.
yeah,
Shoot,
yeah.
it's like even when it comes to the Black Lives Matter, like maybe if they didn't lock themselves down to that, then maybe they could have went with something else that actually had more meaning towards the story. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like right now, if you erase Black Lives Matter protest off of that, and it was just some type of like regular protest or not even a protest, just a gang fight and stuff like that, it really wouldn't impact the story any type of way. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it had to have been Black Lives Matter because I
Right.
don't see nothing in there really talking about Black Lives Matter like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Nope, it
I
wasn't
don't
like
I
it
don't
was
see
fellow
nothing.
friend that was assaulted by police or got in some
Yeah,
kind of case where he was shook up and it hit the
that would
news
have
and
been
then
dope.
this. Yeah.
Like that would have been dope. Like he's like you see this dude, he's like really upset and stuff like that, and he'll finally get to the hospital and you see one of his black friends or something like that in the hospital because of police brutality. You know what I mean? And it's
Right,
like, and then
right.
you get home and then you see the bills and stuff like that, and the reason why he can't cover his bills right now because he's spending it on trying to help out, his dad trying to help out his friend, because his dad was like more into the community and stuff like
Right.
that. So it'd be
Mhm.
like, yo, his dad trying to help out his friend, that got got beaten up by the police because he couldn't. They didn't have any money to afford the bills. The police not gonna pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Like people are not gonna pay for it because they always taking the side of the police. There's no justice there. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like their family is struggling because of that. Like that would have been so much better than in like it's not surround right now. It's not surrounded by nothing. Like this comic
Right.
is not surrounded by anything right now,
Mm-hmm. And that would have
except the
been a
fact that
really
this man got powers. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that would have been a really strong message too, because if they continue to help people and it hurts them, then there's like dilemma of like, if I help, it hurts myself, like it hurts me, almost like the Spider-Man dilemma. Every time he tries to help somebody or look out for somebody, they end up with egg in their face. So that would have been actually a very good moral dilemma on their end in terms of the storytelling if they would have went with that kind of an outlook.
Yeah,
There's
because
so
I
many
mean,
different ways they could have went about this to make it more of a
bro,
hook of a
it's
story.
stuff there, but they're blinded by business. I feel like me personally, I feel like they're blinded by business. You know what I'm saying? Right now, all they doing is paying attention to. Again, you see, they went out their way to make it look more manga like. You
Mm-hmm.
see, they went out their way to make sure it's like Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. You see, let me see what else. What else you got here? That's kind of like, of course, you see the promotional pages and stuff like that. Let me see. I mean, it's plenty of stuff in here, man. Where it's just like, of course, the swag that they got and stuff like that. Instead of doing it with the nerd look and stuff like that, they went with the drip. So, hey, that's more hip and stuff like that for to get the sales going. Um, of course, the action and stuff like that. Showing like visuals, and it's like, yo, just forget about all that. Just throw all that away and just focus on the story and what actually sells a comic book. And of course, that's the art and story. Like the art brings the readers, and the story keeps the readers. So, but they didn't focus on none of that. And right now, it's kind of look like a bland book. But anyways, I ain't gonna keep ragging on it, man. I say what I got to say, and hopefully they go better in the right direction. We can talk more about as far as how business is like literally destroying most of everything right now. Like the
Yeah,
passion is out of everything right now, bro. The
yeah,
passion is
man.
gone.
It's there. It's definitely more of a cookie cutter feel out there, and we can't say it enough. The indies is where the stories are at, where the good comics are at, and the mainstream. I mean, Marvel and DC deliver every now and then, but you gotta go to the indies if you want the really good stuff, the good stuff that's really gonna capture your imagination and get you into stories that you never thought would be told, and it's there. So,
Yeah,
y'all stay tuned for the next episode. We're gonna, delve into more into other comic categories and subjects on the next episode of the Creators Corner version of Behind the Scene Podcast. And we're out.